Gilbert Intermediate School is a Title I school that is part of Stephenville ISD in Erath County, which is located on the corner of West Fray Street and 950 North Dell Avenue. The school is predominantly middle-class white students as well as Hispanic students, as making the majority. While getting to work with my mentor teacher and her students, we all have to sign what is known as a contract in the classroom for behavior. This contract shows what we need to follow as well as what teachers and other people who are in the class need to follow as well. Inside my mentor teacher's classroom, there is a well-selected library as well as posters and signs saying read, which is located as their reading station. This area has a great selection of books for every student to read, as well as having many different authors and different titles separated in fiction and nonfiction for all students to read. This is also next to the library, so once they find a book they like, they may go to the library and check it out. For the time that I worked with my mentor teacher and her students, I as well picked up a tutie, who his alias will be known as Jacob throughout this video. During my time in the classroom, we worked mostly on learning how to read stories and how to read them correctly for the upcoming STAR test. As you can see here, there is a picture describing how to find the plot of a story from the beginning all the way following the climax up to the end. Each student was able to recognize this and write this in their notes, as well as to bring up prior knowledge. Here in this picture, we see a printout that the teacher had given as to help the students when it comes to reading their stories. You can see that they were given a story to read, and they were able to pick out different pieces of the story as they went along, starting with the beginning, the climax, and all the way leading to what the plot and summary of the story could be to help them with their STAR skills. Each student had to fill one of these out, and each one did it differently through group work as well as working by themselves. Each student was given a total time of 15 minutes to work in class, as well as to work with others if need be. The teacher then went around and checked to make sure that all of these were done correctly so they would be ready for the upcoming STAR test the following week. Here in this picture, you can see where the students were reading a prompt in their story as they were able to detail and pick out the beginning, middle, and end, as well as high details that could create a summary, as well as to make their own summary when class was coming near an end. After reading the detailed passage, students then went to grab their iPads and open up a game to work for their next lesson. Each student was paired in teams but had to put their own answers in separately to build up points for their team. This is great for team building as well as individual work that each student needs to have in order for the test to come up. Each team then, whoever was to answer the question fastest with the most accuracy, was given the most points for potential extra credit when it came to the end of their class. In this picture, we began discussing the next book we were going to read, which was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Here is a picture from the first chapter of the book that the students were able to color in and draw if however they wished and pleased. After they were done coloring and drawing, they were to write a summary over the first chapter of the book, as well as give details of what they would think were going to happen in the next couple of chapters as well. This is a great strategy to help students foreshadow what will happen in the books to come. Occasionally while working, Jacob did enjoy his group projects whenever he was presented. Each table was set up in a group of 3 for all tables to work, although teachers during Fridays usually would allow students to work in giant groups if they needed to. My student really enjoyed working mostly in groups, as I enjoyed helping the groups as well as he was in there. But not all students worked in groups. Some like to work by themselves.